Anna Baird, have been a technology leader forever. It's really been forever, decades. Started my career in KPMG. I was in finance. I was an accountant. Actually worked my way to partner at 10 years, was the global lead partner on Google, helped take them public, worked with Intuit, Oracle, saw the Silicon Valley grow from its roots. Then went to McAfee to be a senior vice president, helped sell the company to Intel, and then decided to do startups. And I became a CFO at my first startup. Went to startups as a CFO, and then a CFO in operations, and then a CFO and president, and then a COO, and then a CRO. And then I said, okay, hanging it up after all this time in 2022 to do boards, which was always sort of my dream. And also was fortunate enough to become a venture partner at a venture capital firm, helping younger C-level executives, especially their CEOs, figure out how to build these businesses.
Do you feel successful? Like, has what you've done really sunk in?
No. It's so funny. Even when I do my intro of the things I've done, I'm like, holy cow, how did all that happen? And it was, honestly, you're like in it, right? And it's a step at a time. And this, I'm in it now. I'm in this phase of my life career, and I'm taking it a step at a time. And there's days I feel like a failure in this phase of my career, and days that I stop for a second and I'm like, I can only do this because I did all of that, right? I mean, there was a path that was cumulative to be able to do what I do now. And so I have to stop myself. I think we are all so hard on ourselves. You've got the imposter syndrome. You've got the, wow, I should have said something differently in that meeting. I need to go learn some more about X before I open my mouth again. All the things are still present today at 57 years old and decades of tech work behind me. And
being the C queen, still has these moments of yikes. Have you ever let it really sink in? Like, have you ever had a moment or a glimpse of, holy crap, I'm good. Like, I made it.
Wow. Such a great question. Not really. This life is a journey, right? And the journey ends when it ends, literally. But I always like, okay, I think this is part of my success is this desire to always keep learning and moving. I feel like a shark. If I don't move, I'm going to die. So there's always has to be something that I've got to do this, or I have to take care of that, or here's the next thing I want to, get involved in. And so I focus on that so much. I don't look at history. Obviously, history comes into play in everything that I'm doing because it's who I am, but I don't. I wish I could do that better, actually. I wish I could stop and go, wow, let me just enjoy this minute. This is a trait that a lot of people have, especially women. I get focused on running the piece of business that I'm running, whatever that is. I get focused. I am running this. I'm going to make sure it's run well. I'm collaborating across teams. I'm working through all these things, and everybody knows what I'm doing, right? And especially in sales, it's hard to hide what you're doing. But I would back off or not spend as much time working relationships with the board, working relationships with my CEO, other executives that I thought, oh, they're fine because we've spent so much time together. We've worked on this for so long. We're good. And there would become a gap. And I'm like, oh, crap, how'd that happen? Where'd this gap come from? And then I have to claw back and make sure that get everybody back on the same page, and I would get so focused on running the business, I would forget to take a step back and go, what do people need to know about Anna and what she's doing and her performance in this role that maybe is just not just obvious from everything that they're seeing? And it's been eye-opening. It's happened multiple times where I'm like, there becomes a gap in, what I thought versus what they thought.
Yeah, I need to hear more about that gap. Help other leaders identify that there's a relationship gap.
It's funny. I think there were several, and hindsight's 2020. I think it is, I would choose to skip a dinner that was, with leaders or the board. I would choose to skip a meeting because I had something else going on. And I reflect, those were important events. There was bonding happening. There was collaborating happening. There was something where I should have been a part of the discussion. So I think twice about missing some of those things, especially when there's a lot of important people. And if you haven't spent time with them in a while, make sure you do. Yeah. Make sure you keep your one-on-ones. It's easy with your leadership, and leaders above you and the board to skip one-on-ones, to skip going, oh, they know everything. And they don't know everything when it's been 6 months since you last spent some one-on-one time, even though you're together in meetings, even though go spend one-on-one time together. And I used to love 360s. I still love 360s, but I think one of the things that would come up in my 360s from other leadership was, oh, well, I wish Anna had done this thing, and like little things. And I'd ask her, no, it's all great. It's all great. And it wasn't totally all great. There were some things that I needed to address one-on-one, and I would blow it off because we were doing great. I was doing great. So it's like, oh, I don't need to address that. And it was just causing fractures in the strength of the relationship, and fractures over time without bringing glue or gum back to pull them back together become bigger. Right? Those fractures grow, or they can grow, and you don't even realize it because you're just running. And I think I should have spent more time curating the relationships that I had developed in multiple different organizations. I should have continued, just like I was doing all these one-on-ones with all these other people that we talked about. I needed to do them with people who were important in my leadership structure too, not just the people that were outside. So I needed to be more intentional about that, I think is the way. And so make sure you are intentional about spending time talking through and not just here's all the things I've done time, but relationship time. Like, I like spending time with you. Let's go have breakfast or a cocktail or go for a walk around the building together.
We've talked about this a lot lately, how we realized in our, can we just call it middle-aged?
100%.
At this stage in our lives.
I don't know that there's half left, but okay.
Yeah, I know, it's fair. But that's where we're getting the most joy, right? When I look back at my 20s, it was this uber achievement and striving. And, if anything, it was a confidence crisis. And the 30s brought different challenges. And I had more identity crisis and defining myself as the work and the mother. And, so many people, I hear a lot of the health crisis in the 40s. Right? As we're burning ourselves out. In the 50s, so I'm hearing more and more about the relationship crisis. I didn't nurture those. I was so busy. I don't have enough joy in my life or friendship or nourishing people. And I love that you're bringing that up, not just as a life lesson, but a leadership lesson. When you're strategic listening, don't just look down and out, right? We have to look to our peers and above and include them as well, because those are key relationships.
Beautifully said. Yes.
As you step further and further out now of this daily grind, and I know you're not done, and board work is surprisingly busy, as you shared with us in Legacy. Do you think about at all what mark you left? Like, do you wonder if work misses you? Right? Do you think about how you'll be remembered? Tell us about that.
No, it's hard to step away from, especially when you're in these roles where you have these responsibilities for these big organizations and they need you. You need them, they need you, and you have this whole, ecosystem you build and you're directing this ecosystem, and all of a sudden you don't have an ecosystem to direct anymore. It was hard. It was like, oh my gosh, can they do it without me? Will they fail? What will happen? I will say all that relationship development that I did this way, not this way, baby, has come back in spades with people coming back to me, whether it's because I did a post on LinkedIn or, we see each other somewhere, or we're on a call and people saying, and this is probably the thing I value the most from everything I did in my career, was people saying, I so loved working with you and learned so much, and admired what you did as a leader. And that for me is everything. And I'm so lucky that people are willing to say that. And thankful that they take the time to say that. I have beautiful letters that people have taken time to write. Emails. It is the blessing of that work, honestly. And it's going to make me cry right now, actually, that people felt that impact because I worked hard for them too. And it's nice to know that that's what you leave behind.
That's beautiful. And I'm afraid to speak now because I'm going to tear up. You touched people's lives and you made their careers better and their lives better. And you might not have sat in the success and the titles, but I see you sitting in and really taking in how you're defining that true success. And
it's the thing I'm proudest of. It's the thing. I mean, because there's a lot of leaders who have success, but people would say, I never want to work with them again. And I never wanted to be that person. And I worked really hard to make sure I wasn't just nice to people. It's about challenge and it's about passion and it's about focus and it's about teaching. Spending time to teach is so huge. Don't expect people to know something you haven't taught them. And I loved that. And I think that is probably the thing that has allowed me to have some of this in this phase of my career that people say, thank you. That is everything. Honestly, it is everything.
Is that how you'd bubble it down? If you had to say, right, on your career tombstone, which I know nobody is sizing up right now, be clear. And nobody's measuring for your career tombstone. But is it Anna Baird, she took the time to teach? Is it Anna Baird, I loved working for her? It has to fit on a headstone, sister.
Damn.
Good luck.
Oh, man, you're asking this now at the end of this discussion. You're like, after I'm already crying. It's Anna Baird, she took the time.
Chills. Yes. Yes.
She took the time, whatever that was, to teach, to listen, to be a shoulder to cry on, to give you a hard discussion. It's that
to give you the business when you needed the business.
To give you the business when you needed the business.
Can I tell you why I love that so much? Because I'm pretty sure that later when I ask you over cocktails what you wanted to say when your kids are carving it, I feel like it's going to be the same answer.
I hope so. That would work for me. That would work for me. Warren Buffett said this, and I think about this all the time. I had two leaders. I'm going to say this quickly. And, there was a CEO of KPMG who, when I made partner, he was the CEO of KPMG. So 35,000 professionals in the United States. And, he got brain cancer and he wrote a book called Chasing Daylight that I have read several times. And it's about the rings of people he said goodbye to and the things he didn't do in his life. He never had gone on a vacation with his wife and daughter because he's like, oh, we're going to do that next year. I'm busy. We'll do that next year. And he never made it to the one he planned, in his last 6 months. And Warren Buffett also had said, there's one thing, I have all these rich, incredibly mega rich friends who have, hospital wings named after them and, pieces of universities named after them. And there's one thing that most of them can't say at the end of their life. And that's that somebody loved them. And those two pieces of data for me have been super important in decisions I've made.
I see how that's informed everything. This is you building relationships. It's you being approachable. It's you not leading with ego. It's the listening. It's right. It's the picking up on, it's the making the time. And I know damn well you've been on some really cool vacations.
With my kids. Yeah, like making the time. Well, most of those were with my kids.
So many people love you. And that's inside and outside of work. So this is a career well orchestrated and engineered and delivered and a life well lived. And I love that dual lesson. You are the perfect legacy leader and podcast guest. Thank you for sharing wisdom.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. This was amazing.